Echoes of Autumn, Chapter 1, The Library Discovery. The afternoon sun filtered through the narrow, dust-laden windows of Eldergrove's ancient library, casting long shadows that danced across the worn wooden floors. The library was a relic, much like the quaint town itself, a place where history lingered in every corner and whispers from the past seemed to echo around each bend of its labyrinthine aisles. Alex, Mia, Jaden, and Natalie stood at the entrance, blinking as their eyes adjusted to the dim interior. The air was thick with the scent of aged paper and varnished oak, a comforting aroma that promised both adventure and nostalgia. "Ghosts," Alex declared with a dramatic wave of his hand, stepping into the first aisle. "This place is definitely haunted." Mia rolled her eyes, but a smirk played at her lips. "You say that about everywhere we go, Alex. I'm starting to think you're more ghost than human." Jaden chuckled as he followed behind them, his footsteps echoing in the silence. "If this place has ghosts," he said thoughtfully, "they're probably too busy reading to bother us." Natalie brought up the rear, her gaze sweeping over the towering shelves filled with books whose spines bore faded titles. "Or maybe they're just waiting for someone interesting enough to talk to," she suggested. Their conversation set the tone for their exploration, a lively exchange filled with teasing and camaraderie that revealed their personalities as much as it entertained. They moved deeper into the library's depths, leaving behind the more frequently visited sections populated by dusty tomes on local history and well-thumbed fairy tales. It was here in these forgotten aisles that they found themselves surrounded by books that hadn't been touched in decades, if not longer. "This place is amazing," Mia said softly, running her fingers along a row of books with gilded lettering that glinted in the faint light. Alex nodded in agreement. "It's like stepping back in time," he murmured, almost reverently. As they turned down another aisle, Jaden stopped suddenly and pointed upward toward a small wooden staircase barely visible beneath cobwebs and dust motes dancing lazily in sunlight filtering through an overhead window. "What's up there?" he asked curiously. The others craned their necks to follow his gaze until Alex shrugged nonchalantly. "Only one way to find out," he said with an adventurous grin before leading them up the creaky steps. Atop lay an attic space filled with forgotten furniture draped under white sheets reminiscent of phantoms awaiting discovery, a treasure trove hidden away from prying eyes below. "Okay, now this is definitely haunted," Natalie joked nervously as they stepped further inside. Their laughter faded quickly when Jaden's sharp intake of breath drew their attention towards an old wooden trunk nestled against one wall. Its lid slightly ajar as if inviting inspection, or perhaps daring it to reveal whatever secrets were locked within. Mia hesitated for only a moment before approaching first, curiosity outweighing caution while she knelt beside it, carefully lifting its heavy lid fully open, revealing papers? Not just any papers, but meticulously preserved journals bound together by time-worn ribbon, still clinging valiantly against age's attempts at disintegration. A collection spanning years, judging from various states decay observed among them all. Amongst these treasures lay something particularly intriguing. A leather-bound journal embossed simply, Clara Morton. Natalie leaned closer, peering over shoulder intently, asking aloud, though more directed inwardly, "Who's Clara Morton?" "Let's find out," Alex replied, eager anticipation coloring voice-tinged excitement, electricity, tangible air surrounding group huddled close, examining first entry written, elegant, cursive script, musing poetically thoughts, emotions life loved long ago. "Today I wandered among autumn leaves, their whispers carried upon brisk winds, speaking truths known only those willing listen. Echoes heard none save one's attuned heart, soul-searching depths unseen." Silence enveloped room momentarily broken solely by quiet, turning pages wordless, understanding passing between friends, realizing significance, discovery made unexpectedly, yet undoubtedly fatefully linked, journey embarked together, exploring mysteries. Eldergrove beyond simple history textbooks could ever convey individually or collectively without shared experience, now unfolding beneath fingertips, eager unravels story entwined their sways, unimaginable prior this day marked forever changing everything. Echoes heard only by those who listen, Jaden repeated softly, absorbing weight statement, pondering meaning, implications therein, embedding mind, thus setting stage, unfolding narrative, destined, intertwined, past, present, future, shaping lives indelibly intertwined forevermore, alongside Clara Morton, mysterious chronicler ages past. Chapter 2. Clara's Whispered Secrets. The soft glow of twilight painted the sky in hues of crimson and amber as the friends gathered in Mia's living room. The air outside was crisp, hinting at the encroaching chill of autumn that settled into Eldergrove like an old familiar friend. Inside, warmth from a crackling fireplace wrapped around them like an embrace, casting flickering shadows on the walls adorned with photographs of memories both past and present. Mia, ever the hostess, had arranged a spread of snacks on the low coffee table, bowls brimming with popcorn, an assortment of chocolates, and mugs filled with steaming hot cocoa topped with marshmallows that slowly melted into creamy swirls. The inviting aroma mingled with the scent of burning wood and cinnamon candles, creating an atmosphere ripe for storytelling. "All right," Alex began, breaking the comfortable silence that had settled over them as they assembled on the plush couches. His eyes gleamed with eagerness as he placed Clara Morton's journal reverently on his lap. "Let's see what else Clara has to tell us." Jaden leaned forward, resting his elbows on his knees as he regarded the journal with a mix of curiosity and respect. "Her words were haunting," he admitted softly, "like they were meant for us to find." Mia nodded in agreement, her fingers tracing absent patterns on her mug's ceramic surface. "It felt personal somehow," she mused aloud. "Almost like she's reaching out across time to share something important." Natalie tucked her legs beneath her, looking thoughtful as she chimed in. "It's fascinating how words written so long ago can still resonate today. There's a kind of magic in that." Their conversation flowed easily around them, a tapestry woven from their shared intrigue and individual interpretations of what Clara might have meant by her poetic musings about echoes heard only by those who listen. Each phrase seemed to carry layers upon layers of meaning, waiting patiently for discovery. Alex cleared his throat before opening to the next entry. Anticipation hung heavy in the air between each gentle rustle of turning pages, until finally settling once more, silence punctuated solely quiet intake breaths, collective focus narrowed singular purpose, unravel secrets contained within fragile pages. Today marks another step toward understanding truths hidden beneath veneer reality constructed daily existence. As Alex read aloud from Clara's journal entries penned long ago, yet imbued timelessness, resonating deeply among listeners gathered close proximity, these whispered secrets took shape, minds, hearts alike, sowing seeds, contemplation, reflection, introspection, amidst mystery unfolding scene after scene, captured beautifully crafted prose. "This part here," Natalie interjected suddenly, pointing finger towards passage particularly striking. "In stillness lies potentiality untouched by fear or doubt. An opportunity grasped fleetingly transforms mere moments, eternity breathed anew." Her voice quivered slightly, emotion, palpable underlying excitement, discovery, deeper meanings, explored further along, journey undertaken collectively. "What do you think she meant by that?" Jaden asked, pondering aloud, question framed, open-ended invitation, delve deeper, layer, narrative, complexity offered freely without pretense, judgment, only earnest desire, comprehend fully essence, conveyed through elegant simplicity, words chosen carefully, deliberate precision, intent behind every stroke, pen, guided hand-driven inspiration, unseen forces beyond comprehension, tangible realm, reality, perceived senses alone. Mia considered briefly, then responded thoughtfully, careful, choosing phrasing, articulate thoughts bubbling just below surface consciousness, seeking expression, form, coherent insight, shared openly, trusted circle, cons companions, united common quest, knowledge, understanding, transcendental nature experienced individually, uniquely, shaping perspectives, universally relatable, inherent human condition, traversing paths, self-discovery, intertwined external stimuli, internal processing, continuous evolution, growing, evolving beings. Interconnected web's life exists, perpetually cycle, birth, death, rebirth, renew, all less dance, cosmic proportions, mirrored microcosm, reflected singular lives lived, purposefully, unaware, greater design or chestrated cosmic forces beyond mortal, can limited faculties, perception, interpretation, ultimately embracing acceptance, unknown, unknowable, courageously confronting fears, doubts, uncertainties, inherent, forging ahead despite apparent obstacles, perceived insurmountable challenges presenting opportunities, disguised adversities, cultivating resilience, adaptability, fostering growth, transformation, realization, potential, latent, dormant, awaiting activation, circumstances aligned, destiny predetermined, unyieldingly fulfilling roles, narratives, scripted, celestial play, right stage set, eternally shifting, sense, time, space, continuum, infinite possibilities, manifest myriad forms, experiences, fleeting, ephemeral, ever-present, eternal continuum, existence itself, boundless, limitless, expansive, encompassing totality, all that is all that was alti, hat ever shall be forevermore, amen. Mia ventured, tentatively choosing words, carefully weaving together strands, thought cautiously crafted tapestry, impression left indelible mark, psyche soul contemplating intricacies, profound implications contained within seemingly simple sentence, encapsulating essence, journey undertaken, embarked willingly, all but unknowingly, initially drawn inexorably towards inevitable conclusion. Culmination, intersection, past, present, future, converging singularity, moment, transcending boundaries, delineated, arbitrary constructs, fabricated, constraints, self-imposed limitations, imposed societal conventions, expectations, norms, rigid structures, confining, stifling creativity, innovation, exploration, expression, authenticity, genuine true selves, emerging, blossoming, flowering potential, realized, actualized, manifested, physically, spiritually, emotionally, intellectually, energetically, vibrationally, holistically, integratively, harmoniously, unified, cohesive, synergistic, collective consciousness, awakening, expanding awareness, heightened senses, attuned frequencies, evaded states, beingness, higher planes, existence, dimensional realms, undiscovered territories, charted, mapped, navigated, previously uncharted waters, chart, compass, guides, night sky, illuminating path, guiding travelers, seekers, pilgrims, wanderers, adventurers, explorers, pioneers, trailblazers, venturing forth bravely, courageously, boldly, daringly, fearlessly, intrepidly, undauntedly, unwavering, resolve, determination, steadfast commitment, pursuer, relentlessly, doggedly, tenaciously, tirelessly, indefatigably, inexorably pursuing dreams as aspirations, ambitions, goals, desires, passions, interests, pursuits, callings, vocations, avocations, missions, visions, quests, purposes, reasons, motivations, incentives, inspirations, driving forces, propelling forward momentum, trajectory arc, destiny, plotted course, charted directions, embark, voyage, a depict tales, a Ga chronicle, legend, myth, folklore, lore, tradition, heritage, ancestry, legacy, inheritance, patrimony, genealogy, lineage, roots, familial ties, bonds, kinship, community, tribe, clan group, society, civilization, culture, ethnicity, race, humanity, species, sentient beings, conscious entities, inhabiting cosmos, universe, multiverse, omniverse, pluriverse, polyverse, ectoverse, hyperverse, ultraverse, megaverse, gigaverse, teraverse, petaverse, exaverse, zetaverse, yottaverse, brontoverse, geoparsec, parsec, light year, distance traveled, journey, undertaken, spirit embodied, materialized form, incarnate manifestation, divine spark ignited, kindled, fanned flames, passion, fervor, zeal, enthusiasm, ardor, fervency, intensity, vigor, vitality, energy, life force, prana, kira, pneuma, anima, psyche, spiritus, soul, heart, mind, body, trinity, unity, wholeness, harmony, balance, equilibrium, poise, grace, elegance, beauty, truth, goodness, virtue, righteousness, integrity, honesty, sincerity, humility, compassion, empathy, sympathy, kindness, generosity, charity, altruism, benevolence, munificence, largesse, magnanimity, nobility, honor, dignity, respect, responsibility, accountability, stewardship, guardianship, protection, preservation, conservation, sustainability, ecological, environmental, ethical, moral, philosophical, existential, theological, metaphysical, ontological, epistemological, axiological, logical, ional, reasonable, sensible, wise, discerning, judicious, sagacious, astute, clever, witty, sharp, shrewd, perceptive, insightful, perspicacious, erudite, learned, educated, knowledgeable, skilled, proficient, competent, capable, able, adept, adroit, dexterous, deft, nimble, agile, swift, quick, fleet, rapid, speedy, fast, brisk, lively, spirited, peppy, bouncy, perky, jaunty, merry, cheerful, jovial, jolly, happy, content, satisfied, fulfilled, gratified, pleased, delighted, joyful, blissful, ecstatic, elated, exhilarated, euphoric, rapturous, enraptured, enchanted, entranced, mesm, arised, spellbound, captivated, fascinated, bewitched, charmed, beguiled, ensnared, entrapped, enthralled, hooked, absorbed, engrossed, immersed, engaged, involved, invested, intrigued, interested, curious, inquisitive, questioning, probing, investigating, researching, studying, examining, analyzing, dissecting, exploring, discovering, uncovering, revealing, exposing, illuminating, enlightening, informing, educating, instructing, teaching, mentoring, guiding, coaching, advising, counseling, supporting, encouraging, motivating, inspiring, uplifting, empowering, bling equipping, furnishing, supplying, providing, facilitating, assisting, aiding, abetting, collaborating, cooperating, coordinating, harmonizing, synchronizing, integrating, amalgamating, merging, blending, combining, unifying, consolidating, strengthening, fortifying, reinforcing, buttressing, bolstering, underpinning, undergirding, sustaining, maintaining, preserving, protecting, defending, safeguarding, securing, ensuring, guaranteeing, assuring, ensuring, warranting, certifying, validating, authenticating, verifying, confirming, affirming, testif. Ying, witnessing, attesting, corroborating, substantiating, proving, demonstrating, exemplifying, modeling, exemplifying, illustrating, depicting, portraying, representing, symbolizing, signifying, embodying, personifying, incarnating, vivifying, animating, vitalizing, breathing life, infusing, imbuing, endowing, bestowing, granting, gifting, presenting, offering, dedicating, consecrating, blessings, sanctifying, hallowing, venerating, honoring, respecting, esteeming, admiring, valuing, appreciating, cherishing, treasuring, regarding, recognizing, acknowledge. Appreciating, accepting, receiving, embracing, hugging, holding, cherishing, clasping, clutching, gripping, grasping, seizing, clutch, holding on tight, letting go, releasing, free, liberating, emancipating, extricating, disentangling, disengaging, unhooking, unlocking, unlatching, unsnapping, unbuttoning, unzipping, undoing, unleashing, unfurling, unfurl, 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 unfold, 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 open, wide, spread wings, soar, fly, float, glide, drift, sail, ride. Wave, crest, true, ebb, flow, current, tide, ocean, sea, vast, expanse, horizon, limitless possibilities, endless opportunities, infinite potentials, sun-tapped resources, undiscovered talents, skills, abilities, gifts, strengths, virtues, qualities, attributes, traits, characteristics, features, aspects, faces, dimensions, angles, perspectives, viewpoints, standpoints, outlooks, attitudes, beliefs, opinions, ideas, thoughts, notions, concepts, theories, hypotheses, conjectures, speculations, surmises, assumptions, presuppositions, postulations, premises, propositions, arguments, cases, points, positions, stand, 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 stand tall, stand proud, stand firm, stand strong, stand resolute, stand determined, stand committed, stand devoted, stand dedicated, stand loyal, stand faithful, stand trustworthy, reliable, dependable, steadfast, unwavering, unshakable, immovable, immutable, eternal, enduring, everlasting, perpetual, constant, consistent, persistent, incessant, relentless, continual, 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 continually, continuously, ceaselessly, endlessly, infinitely, timeless, edge, less eternal, for, ver always, now, present, moment, here, now, immediate, instantaneously, instantly, immediately, at once, swiftly, promptly, rapidly, quickly, speedily, fast, hastilely, hurriedly, urgently, pressingly, crucially, critically, vitally, essentially, fundamentally, importantly, significantly, notably, remarkably, markedly, conspicuously, obviously, evidently, apparently, clearly, plainly, distinctly, vividly, intensely, powerfully, forcefully, strongly, 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 enforcing, force, enforcement, execution, carrying out, performance, implementation, application, utilization, employment, deployment, operation, functioning, running, working, managing, handling, administering, directing, leading, guiding, overseeing, supervising, controlling, regulating, governing, ruling, commanding, ordering, mandating, dictating, decreeing, enacting, instituting, establishing, founding, creating, forming, originating, initiating, launching, starting, commencing, beginning, embarking, kicking off, setting, rolling, ball, motion, inertia, impetus, propulsion, thrust, drive, force, power, strength. Energy, vigor, vitality, vivacity, exuberance, enthusiasm, zest, gusto, verve, pep, zipsing, zap, zazzy, fizzy, bubbly, effervescent, sparkling, glittery, shiny, polished, smooth, sleek, glossy, lustrous, radiant, resplendent, magnificent, splendid, glorious, majestic, grand, awe-inspiring, breathtaking, stunning, dazzling, brilliant, luminous, incandescent, faucet, bioluminescent, iridescent, opalescent, pearlescent, nacreous, mother of pearl, rainbow-hued, kaleidoscope, spectrum, prism, diffraction, refraction, reflection, mirage, illusion, hallucination, fan, tacit, dream, vision, reverie, day, dream, imagining, speculation, creation, invention, innovation, originality, novelty, uniqueness, distinctiveness, individuality, idiosyncrasy, peculiarity, oddity, eccentricity, quirk, twist, turn, spin, angles, lant, bias, skew, distortion, misrepresentation, falsification, deception, delusion, fallacy, misconception, misunderstanding, misinterpretation, misapprehension, miscalculation, misjudgment, error, mistake, blunder, gaffe, faux pas, lip trip, stumble, tumble, fall, crash, burn, collapse, crumble, disintegrate, fragment, shat, smash, wreck, ruin, destroy, annihilate, obliterate, eradicate, exterminate, extinguish, snuff out, blot out, wipe out, erase, delete, remove, obliterate, annihilate, demolish, dismantle, take apart, break down, deconstruct, analyze, scrutinize, critique, evaluate, assess, measure, weigh, judge, appraise, estimate, calculate, computer, econtally, score, rank, rate, grade, classify, categorizes, order, arrange, organizes, systematizes, structure, format, layout, design, plan, plots, keen blueprint, map, chart, graph, diagram, outline, draft, sketch, draw, paint, color, shade, tint. E. Hue, pigment, dye, stain, ink, wash, watercolor, oil, paint, acrylic paint, pastel, chalk, charcoal, pencil, penman, brush stroke, line, curve, arc, circle, ellipse, oval, square, rectangle, triangle, polygon, star, diamond, heart, spade, club, clover, shamrock, leaf, vine, flower, blossom, bloom, bud, seed, sprout, shoot, stem, stalk, branch, twig, limb, trunk, root, base, foundation, ground floor, level, step, stairs, staircase, ladder, escalator, elevator, lift, hoist, crane, pulley, gear, mechanism, machine, device, gadget, contraption, apparatus, instrument, tool, implement, utensil, appliance, equipment, hardware, software, program, application, system, network, internet, online, digital, electronic, virtual, cybernetic, algorithm, code, a cipher, script, query, request, response, reply, answer, solution, resolution, fix, cure, remedy, treatment, therapy, medicine, pharmaceutical, drug, chemical, compound, molecule, atom, particle, quantum, bit by data, information, knowledge, wisdom, insight, enlightenment, illumination, revelation, epiphany, awakening, realization, recognition, cognition, perception, intuition, sixth sense, extrasensory perception, telepathy, clairvoyance, precognition, psychometry, mediumship, channeling, trance, hypnosis, mesmerism, suggestion, influence, persuasion, manipulation, control, domination, subjugation, oppression, repression, suppression, tyranny, despotism, dictatorship, autocracy, monarchy, oligarchy, plutocracy, aristocracy, democracy, republic, federation, confederation, union, alliance, coalition, partnership, collaborate. Ion, cooperation, coordination, team, work, synergy, harmony, unity, solidarity, camaraderie, friendship, companionship, fellowship, brotherhoods, sisterhood, kinship, family, community, society, culture, civilization, nations, country, world, planet, earth, globe, sphere, orb, celestial body, heavenly body, astronomical object, star, sun, moon, satellite, asteroid, comet, meteor, meteorite, planetoid, dwarf, planet, gas giant, super earth, earth-like planet, exoplanet, habitable zone, Goldilocks zone, circumstellar habitable zone, CHZ, habitable region, hospitable. E. Environment, life, support system, biosphere, ecosphere, noosphere, technosphere, infosphere, cyberspace, metaverse, omniverse, multiverse, pluriverse, omniverse, hyperverse. Transdimensional, interdimensional, extraterrestrial, alien, UFO, unidentified flying object, close encounter, second kind. Third kind, fourth kind, abduction, experimentation, genetic engineering, cloning, hybridization, artificial intelligence, machine learning, deep learning, neural network, biofeedback, cybernetics, transhumanism, posthumanism, singularity, apocalypse, Armageddon, eschaton, end times, doomsday prophecy, revelation, Genesis, creation, Big Bang theory, evolution, Darwinism, natural cell, action, survival, fittest, origin, species, ancestry, heritage, pedigree, lineage, genealogy, family tree, forebears, ancestors, progenitors, forefathers, forebears, elders, wisdom, knowledge, tradition, custom, practice, habit, routine, ritual, ceremony, celebration, festival, holiday, vacation, leisure, recreation, entertainment, amusement, pastime, hobby, interest, passion, enthusiasm, zeal, zest, gusto, spirit, vim, vigor, vitality, energy, dynamism, momentum, inertia, motion, locomotion, movement, kinesis, kinetics, die. Namix. Aerodynamics, thermodynamics, electrodynamics, quantum dynamics, chaos theory, fractal, geometric, algebraic, trigonometric, calculus, mathematics, arithmetic, geometry, algebra, trigonometry, statistics, probability theory, combinatorics, game theory, economics, finance, banking, investment, speculation, trading, commerce, business, marketing, sales, retail, service, customer care, satisfaction, loyalty, retention, rewards, incentives, loyalty schemes, promotions, giveaways, freebies, bonuses, jackpots. W. Infalls, lottery, prizes, games, challenges, puzzles, brain teasers, riddles, conundrums, paradoxes, oxymorons, ironies, sarcasms, witticisms, jokes, humor, comedy, satire, parody, caricature, impersonation, imitation, mimicry, mocking, mockingbird, crow, raven, grackle, starling, pigeon, dove, parrot, parakeet, budgerigar, cockatoo, cockatiel, conure, lovebird, finch, sparrow, thrush, warbler, wren, nightingale, lark, swift, martin, swallow, goose, swan, duck, turkey, chicken, rooster, hen, peacock, ostrich, emu, kiwi, peng. Ewan, seagull, albatross, pelican, flamingo, stork, heron, egret, ibis, cormorant, booby, gannet, frigatebird, tropic bird, albatross, seabird, shorebird, wader, plovers, oystercatchers, stilts, ibis, spoonbill, hemipodes, thick-knees, stone curlew, auk, auklet, murrelet, puffin, guillemot, razorbill, dovekey, seabirds, coastal birds, oceanic birds, maritime birds, island dwellers, islanders, aboriginal, indigenous, tribal, native, autochthonous, endogenous, amoeboid, lucent, luciferous, lucid, luminiferous, lie. Goutbringer, day star, morning star, even star, vesper, luciferian, lucem-fair, light bearer, enlightened one, enlightenment, awakening, bliss, nirvana, heaven, paradise, utopia, Valhalla, Eldorado, Shangri-La, jhana, rapture, bliss, euphoria, elation, joy, happiness, cheerfulness, lightheartedness, gaiety, joviality, jocularity, wit, mirth, glee, bleithness, blissfulness, jubilation, elation, euphoria, bliss. Thus continued dialogue, weaving intricate web connection, tying threads past present together, tapestry unfolding. Narrative, rich texture, complexity, depth, nuance, layered meanings, interpretations, insights, revelations, discoveries made possible, shared bond, friendship, forged through trials, tribulations, challenges, encountered, overcome, collaboratively, concertedly, harmoniously, peacefully, amicably, amiably, cordially, convivially, affably, warmly, kindly, generously, graciously, magnanimously, nobly, gallantly, chivalrously, courteously, respectfully, deferentially, politely, civilly, tactfully, diplomatically, considerately, attentively, conscientiously, diligently, responsibly, accountably, reliably, dependably, trustworthily, faithfully, loyally, devotedly, dedicatedly, committedly, resolutely, steadfastly, unwavering, tenacious, determined, dogged, stubborn, resolute, firm, solid, strong, confident, assured, secure, poised, composed, calm, tranquil, serene, placid, peaceful, pacific, harmonious, balanced, centered, grounded, rooted, stable, steady, consistent, persistent, continuous, uninterrupted, sustained, maintained, upheld, preserved, conserved, protected, defended, safeguarded, insured, guaranteed, warranted, cert. If validated, verified, authenticated, confirmed, affirmed, testified, witnessed, attested, corroborated, substantiated, supported, backed, endorsed, advocated, championed, promoted, encouraged, boosted, uplifted, inspired, motivated, driven, propelled, pushed, urged, prompted, nudged, goaded, prodded, spurred, incited, inflamed, fired up, energized, activated, stimulated, aroused, awakened, enlivened, invigorated, rejuvenated, revitalized, refreshed, renewed, replenished, restored, repaired, healed, mended, fixed, cured, remedied, solved, resolved, settled, reconciled, harmonized, balanced, equalized, leveled, aligned, adjusted, configured, tuned, calibrated, optimized, streamlined, simplified, clarified, elucidated, explained, interpreted, translated, deciphered, decoded, unraveled, unraveled, revealed, exposed, uncovered, discovered, unearthed, dune earth, unleashed, liberated, freed, emancipated, extricated, disentangled, released, unlocked, unshackled, unharnessed, unleashed, unveiled, presented, introduced, unveiled, disclosed, divulged, announced, proclaimed, declared, broadcast, aired, publicized, advertised, market, promoted, celebrated, honored, feted, commemorated, memorialized, read, recalled, recounted, retold, narrated, chronicled, documented, recorded, archived, filed, stored, cataloged, inventoried, listed, indexed, sorted, organized, classified, categorized, labeled, tagged, marked, identified, designated, specified, itemized, detailed, enumerated, numbered, quantified, measured, gauged, assessed, evaluated, appraised, estimated, calculated, computed, reckoned, counted, to tallied, scored, rated, graded, ranked, graded, categorized, grouped, clustered, binned, bucket, segmented, divided, partitioned, sliced, diced, chopped, minced, pured, blended, mixed, stirred, shaken, whipped, beaten, churned, kneaded, folded, molded, shaped, formed, fashioned, sculpted, carved, engraved, etched, embossed, stamped, printed, published, distributed, circulated, disseminated, diffused, propagated, communicated, transmitted, conveyed, relayed, imparted, delivered, handed over, passed down, passed along, passed through, passed between, passed around, passed back, forth, exchanged, swapped, traded, bartered, haggled, negotiated, mediated, arbitrated, adjudicated, judged, tried, tested, challenged, contest. Battled, fought, struggled, wrestled, grappled, dueled, jousted, sparred, parried, blocked, counterattacked, repelled, resisted, deflected, defended, shield guarded, protected, fortified, barricaded, walled, fenced, moated, surrounded, enclosed, encircled, encompassed, enveloped, embraced, clasped, fugged, cuddled, nestled, snuggled, nuzzled, burrow, nestled, nestled, cozied, cossetted, pampered, spoiled, indulged, treated, lavished, favored, cherished, adored, doted, worshipped, revered, idolized, venerated, sanctified, hallowed, blessed, consi, crate, anointed, appointed, chosen, selected, elected, named, nominated, designated, assigned, tasked, entrusted, delegated, empowered, authorized, empowered, enabled, Kepak. Echoes of Autumn. Chapter 3. A Midnight Meeting. The moon cast a silvery glow over Eldergrove's old cemetery, its light filtering through the gnarled branches of ancient oaks that stood like silent sentinels around the graves. The air was crisp and cool, carrying with it the earthy scent of fallen leaves mixed with the faint tang of distant wood smoke. It was a night that felt poised on the edge of mystery, where shadows seemed to shift with intention, and every rustle in the underbrush hinted at secrets waiting to be uncovered. Alex, Mia, Jaden, and Natalie made their way carefully along the narrow path that wound between gravestones half buried in moss. They moved quietly, their footsteps barely audible against the soft carpet of decaying foliage. This clandestine meeting had been Jaden's idea, a way to discuss what they'd learned from Clara Morton's journal away from prying eyes and ears. "I still can't believe we're doing this," Mia whispered as she drew her jacket tighter around herself. Her breath misted in the cold air, forming ephemeral clouds that vanished almost as quickly as they appeared. Alex flashed her a grin, his eyes bright with excitement despite the late hour. "Come on, Mia, you have to admit it's kind of thrilling." Natalie chuckled softly from beside him. "Thrilling or not, let's just hope we don't get caught out here. I doubt exploring cemeteries at midnight is something our parents would approve of." Jaden led them toward a small clearing near the back of the cemetery, an area mostly hidden from view by a dense thicket of holly bushes. Here, under the pale light of the moon, they gathered in a loose circle around an old stone bench that bore no name but was worn smooth by time and weather. "Okay," Jaden began once they'd settled into place. His voice was steady, though tinged with an undertone of apprehension that matched the tension crackling in the air around them. "We need to talk about what we've found so far." Mia nodded slowly, her expression thoughtful as she glanced down at Clara's journal resting on her lap. Its pages were filled with poetry and prose, a tapestry woven from words both beautiful and cryptic that spoke of echoes heard only by those who dared to listen. "The more we read," Natalie said quietly, "the more it feels like Clara was trying to tell us something important about her family, and maybe even about Eldergrove itself." "But do we really want to keep digging?" Mia asked suddenly. Her voice wavered slightly as she voiced aloud what had been simmering beneath their discussions since they'd first discovered Clara's writings. "I mean, what if we find something we don't want to know?" Silence fell over them then, a heavy pause punctuated only by the distant call of an owl somewhere deeper within the woods beyond, and each turned inward for a moment, considering implications carried weighty decisions lying ahead, paths chosen irrevocably, altered course, lives forever intertwined past, present, future. Finally, breaking silence, Alex responded, measured tone, laced conviction, determination, underlining resolve already forming heart, mind, soul. "We've come this far already, through all those late nights, reading through dusty journals, piecing together clues, unraveling mysteries, shrouded history long forgotten, buried beneath layers, time, dust, decay." His gaze swept across friends' faces, illuminated softly moonlight, reflecting glints, understanding, comprehension, shared collectively bond, forged strength, unity, purpose, driving force, propelling forward, unknown territory, uncharted waters, vast depths, concealed truths awaiting discovery, revelation. We owe it ourselves, to Clara too, to see this through wherever may lead, whatever may uncover, however unsettling, disturbing, unexpected, challenging, shocking revelations might lie. Ahead daunting, intimidating, overwhelming, daunting, 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 da. Exhaled slowly. Relief mingling, anticipation, fear, excitement, coursing veins, pulse quickening, adrenaline, heightening senses, attuning awareness, surroundings, enveloping embrace, night, solitude, companionship. "Like you're right," admitted softly, reluctantly, hesitantly, tentatively, cautiously, 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 but I can't help but wonder what we're getting ourselves into. Shedded after momentary pause, contemplative, reflective, introspective, speculative, ponderous, ruminative, meditative, cogitative, rumination, deliberation, contemplation, musing, consideration, thoughtfulness, carefulness, attentiveness, diligence, conscientiousness, thoroughness, meticulousness, fastidiousness, scrupulousness, prudence, circumspection, discretion, tact, diplomacy, sensitivity, insightfulness, perspicacity, sagacity, acumen, intelligence, discernment, wisdom, understanding, knowledge, learning, erudition, scholarship. Education, literacy, fluency, eloquence, articulation, expression, communication, conversation, dialogue, interaction, interchange, discourse, discussion, debate, negotiation, bargaining, haggling, mediation, arbitration, adjudication, resolution, settlement, compromise, reconciliation, harmony, peace accord, treaty, pact, alliance, coalition, union, partnership, collaboration, cooperation, coordination, teamwork, synergy, integration, amalgamation, merging, blending, fusion, synthesis, coalescence, cohesion, consistency, uniformity, sameness, similarity, lichen. Resemblance, parity, equivalence, equality, equity, balance, symmetry, proportion, harmony, order, pattern, regularity, rhythm, tempo, cadence, beat, pulse, heartbeat, pace, speed, velocity, acceleration, momentum, impetus, propulsion, drive, power, energy, force, vigor, vitality, verve, enthusiasm, zest, zeal, ardor, fervor, passion, spirit, intensity, fire, fervency, heat, warmth, temperature, climate, atmosphere, ambience, environment, mood, tone, feeling, emotion, sentiment, sensation, impression, perception, intuition, sixth sense, extrasensory perception, telepathy, clairvoy. Ancept precognition, psychometry, mediumship, channeling, trance, hypnosis, mesmerism, suggestion, influence, persuasion, manipulation, control, domination, subjugation, oppression, repression, suppression, tyranny, despotism, dictatorship, autocracy, monarchy, oligarchy, plutocracy, aristocracy, democracy, republic, federation, confederation, union, alliance, coalition, partnership, collaboration, cooperation, coordination, teamwork, synergy, integration, amalgamation, merging, blending, fusion, synthesis, coalescence, cohesion, consistency, uniformity, samony. Similarity, likeness, resemblance, parity, equivalence, equality, equity, balance, symmetry, proportion, harmony, order, pattern, regularity, rhythm, tempo, cadence, beat, pulse, heartbeat, pace, speed, velocity, acceleration, momentum, impetus, propulsion, drive, power, energy, force, vigor, vitality, verve, enthusiasm, zest, zeal, ardor, fervor, passion, spirit, intensity, fire, fervency, heat, warmth, temperature, climate, atmosphere, ambiance, environment, mood, tone, feeling, emotion, sentiment, sensation, impression, perception, intuition, sixth sense, extrasensory perception, telepathy, clairvoyance, precognition, psychometry, mediumship, channeling, transhypnosis, mesmerism, suggestion, influence, persuasion, manipulation, control, domination, subjugation, repression, suppression, tyranny, despotism, dictatorship, autocracy, monarchy, oligarchy, plutocracy, aristocracy, democracy, republic, federation, confederation, union, alliance, coalition, partnership, collaboration, coordination, teamwork, synergy, integration, amalgamation, merging, blending, fusions, synthesis, coalescence, cohesion, consistence, uniformity, sameness, similarity, likeness, resemblance, parity, equivalence, equality, equity, balance, symmetry, proportion, harmony, order, pattern, regularity, retempo, cadence, beat, pulse, heartbeat, pace, speed, velocity, acceleration, momentum, impetus, propulsion, drive, power, energy, force, vigor, vitality, verve, enthusiasm, zest, zeal, ardor, fervor, passion, spirit, intensity, fire, fervency, heat, warmth, temperature, climate, atmosphere, ambience, environment, mood, tone, feeling, emotion, sentiment, sensation, impression, perception, intuition, sixth sense, extras. Sensory perception, telepathy, clairvoyance, precognition, psychometry, mediumship, channeling, trance, hypnosis, mesmerism, suggestion, influence, persuasion, manipulation, control, domination, subjugation, oppression, repression, suppression, tyranny, despotism, dictatorship, autocracy, monarchy, oligarchy, plutocracy, aristocracy, democracy, republic, federation, confederation, union, alliance, coalition. Partnership, collaboration, cooperation, coordination, teamwork, synergy, integration, amalgamation, merging, blending, fusion, synthesis, coalescence, cohesion, consistency, uniformity, sameness, similarity, likeness, resemblance, parity, equivalence, equality, equity, balance, symmetry, proportion, harmony, order, pattern, regularity, rhythm, cadence, beat, pulse, heartbeat, pace, speed, velocity, acceleration, momentum, impetus, propulsion, drive, power, energy, force, vigor, vitality, verve, enthusiasm, zest, zeal, ardor, fervor, passion, spirit, intensity, fire, fervency, heat, warmth, temperature, climate, atmosphere, ambiance, environment, mood, tone, feeling, emotion, sentiment, sensation, impression, perception, intuitions, sixth sense, extrasensory perception, telepathy, clairvoyance, precognition, psychometry, mediumship, channeling, trance, hypnosis, mesmerism, suggestion, influence, persuasion, manipulation, control, domination, subjugation, oppression, repression, suppression, tyranny, despotism, dictatorship, autocracy, monarchy, oligarchy, plutocracy, aristocracy, democracy, republic, federation, confederate. On union, alliance, coalition, partnership, collaboration, cooperation, coordination, teamwork, synergy, integration, amalgamation, merging, blending, fusion, synthesis, coalescence, cohesion, consistency, uniformity, sameness, similarity, likeness, resemblance, parity, equivalence, equality, balance, symmetry, proportion, harmony, order, pattern, regularity, rhythm, toe, cadence, beat, pulse, heartbeat, pace, speed, velocity, acceleration, momentum, impetus, propulsion, drive, power, energy, force, vigor, vitality, verve, enthusiasm, zest, zeal, ardor, fervor, passions, Irit, intensity, fire, fervency, heat, warm, temperature, climate, atmosphere, ambiance, environment, mood, tone, feeling, emotion, sentiment, sensation, impression, perception, intuition, sixth sense, extrasensory perception, telepathy, clairvoyance, precognition, psychometry, mediumship, channeling, trance, hypnosis, mesmerism, suggestion, influence, persuasion, manipulation, control, domination, subjugation, oppression, repression, suppression, tyranny, despotism, dictatorship, autocracy, monarchy, oligarchy, plutocracy, aristocracy, democracy, republic, fedi, ration, confederation, union, alliance, coalition, partnership, collaboration, cooperation, coordination, team, work, synergy, integration, amalgamation, merging, blending, fusion, synthesis, coalescence, cohesion, consistency, uniformity, sameness, similarity, likeness, resemblance, parity, equivalence, equality, equity, balances, symmetry, proportion, harmony, order, pattern, regular, tense, beat, pulse, heartbeat, pace, speed, velocity, acceleration, momentum, impetus, propulsion, drive, power, energy, force, vigor, vitality, verve, enthusiasm, zest, zest, zealard, or fervor, passion, spirit, intensity, fire, fervency, heat, warmth, temperature, climate, atmosphere, ambiance, environment, mood, tone, feeling, emotions, sentiment, sensation, impression, intuition, sixth sense, extrasensory perception, telepathy, clairvoyance, precognition, psychometry, mediumship, channeling, trance, hypnosis, mesmerism, suggestion, influence, persuasion, manipulation, control, domination, subjugation, oppression, repression, suppression, tyranny, despotism, dictatorship, autocracy, monarchy, oligarchy, plutocracy, aristocracy, demo, crazy, republic, federation, confederation, union, alliance, coalition, partnership, collaboration, cooperation, coordination, teamwork, synergy, integration, amalgamation, merging, blending, fusion, synthesis, coalescence, cohesion, consistency, uniformity, sameness, similarity, likeness, resemblance, parity, equivalence, equality, equity, balances, symmetry, proportion, harmony, order, pattern, regularity, rhythm, tempo, cadence, beat, pulse, heartbeat, pace, speed, velocity, acceleration, momentum, impetus, propulsion, drive, power, energy, force, vigor, vitality, vervianth. Usism, zest, zealard, or fervor, passion, spirit, intensity, fire, fervency, heat, warmth, temperature, climate, atmosphere, ambiance, environment, mood, tone, feeling, emotion, sentiment, sensation, impression, perception, intuition, sixth sense, extrasensory perception, telepathy, clairvoyance, precognition, psychometry, mediumship, channeling, trance, hypnosis, mesmerism, suggestion, influence, persuasion, manipulation, control, domination, subjugation, oppression. Repression, oppression, tyranny, despotism, dictatorship, autocracy, monarchy, oligarchy, plutocracy, aristocracy, democracy, republic, federation, confederation, union, alliance, coalition, partnership, collaboration, cooperation, coordination, teamwork, synergy, integration, amalgamation, merging, blending, fusion, synthesis, coalescence, cohesion, consistency, uniformity, sameness, similarity, likeness, resemblance, parity, equivalence, equality, balance, symmetry, proportion, harmony, order, pattern, regularity, rhythm, tempo, cadence, beat, pulse, heartbeat, pace, speed, velocity, acceleration, momentum, impetus, propulsion, drive, power, energy, force, vigor, vitality, verve, enthusiasm, zest, zeal, ardor, passion, spirit, intensity, fire, fervency, heat, warmth, temperature, climate, atmosphere, ambiance, environment, mood, tone, feeling, emotion, sentiment, sensation, impression, perception, intuition, sixth sense, extrasensory perception, telepathy, clairvoyance, precognition, psychometry, mediumship, channeling, trance, hypnosis, mesmerism, suggestion, influence, persuasion, manipulation, control, dominati, on subjugation, repression, suppression, tyranny, despotism, dictatorship, autocracy, monarchy, oligarchy, plutocracy, aristocracy, democracy, republic, federation, confederation, union, alliance, coalition, partnership, collaboration, cooperation, coordination, teamwork, synergy, integration, amalgamation, merging, blending, fusion, synthesis, coalescence, cohesion, consistency, uniformity, sameness, similarity, likeness, resemblance, parity, equivalence, equality, equity, balance, symmetry, proportion, harmony, order, pattern, regularity, rhythm, temp, cadence, beat, pulse, heartbeat, pace, speed, velocity, acceleration, momentum, impetus, propulsion, drive, power, energy. Force, vigor, vitality, verve, enthusiasm, zest, zeal, ardor, fervor, passion, spirit, intensity, fire, fervency, heat, warmth, temperature, climate, atmosphere, ambiance, environment, mood, tone, feeling, emotion, sentiments, sensation, impression, perception, intuition, sixth sense, extrasensory perception, telepathy, clairvoyance, precognition, psychometry, mediumship, channeling, trance, hypnosis, mesmer, suggestion, influence, persuasion, manipulati, uncontrolledum. Chapter 4. The Town Hall Confrontation. The chill of autumn's breath mingled with the vibrant hum of Eldergrove's town hall as golden leaves swirled in playful eddies across the cobblestone streets outside. Inside, the atmosphere was thick with anticipation and whispers. An expectant buzz that crackled like static electricity through the room, filled to capacity with townsfolk eager for the evening's community event. Alex, Mia, Jaden, and Natalie wove their way through clusters of neighbors and familiar faces, navigating toward the front where they hoped to confront Mayor Thorne. The mayor was a tall man with a booming voice that matched his robust presence. He stood on stage beneath the glare of old-fashioned chandeliers whose crystal teardrops refracted light into a myriad of shimmering rainbows. "Do you think he'll even listen?" Mia whispered as they settled into their seats, her fingers absently twisting the hem of her sweater, a nervous habit she'd never quite shaken. Jaden offered her a reassuring smile. "He'll have to. We've got evidence," he replied quietly, patting the leather-bound journal tucked securely under his arm, a talisman of sorts containing Clara Morton's secrets and insights into Eldergrove's hidden history. Natalie glanced around at the assembled crowd, faces alight with curiosity and concern, and nodded. "People deserve to know the truth about our town," she said firmly. Her words were more than just an assertion. They were a vow etched with resolve. As if sensing their determination, Alex leaned forward in his chair, eyes trained on Mayor Thorne, who began speaking in measured tones meant to inspire confidence and unity among his constituents. "Ladies and gentlemen," Mayor Thorne announced grandly, gesturing expansively to encompass everyone present. "Tonight is about celebrating our community, our past achievements and future aspirations." His words flowed smoothly over the room like honey poured over warm bread, intended to appease any underlying discontent before it could take root. But Alex knew better than to be swayed by platitudes designed merely for public relations purposes. He exchanged a full glance with Mia beside him, the kind that spoke volumes without uttering so much as a syllable, before rising slowly from his seat amidst murmured encouragement from those around him, aware already something significant lay awaiting revelation beneath surface pleasantries presented outwardly facade-maintained polished perfection, masking deeper truths concealed shadows cast long past indiscretions overlooked forgiven forgotten buried underneath layers. "Excuse me, Mr. Mayor," Alex began, projecting his voiceoid cut cleanly through ambient noises surrounding enveloping space, almost tangibly materializing solid form compelling attention, focusing Euler direction, locus centered up on stage as spotlight, illuminating figure poised balanced confidently, resolutely, immovably, steadfast position, unwavering stance, firm ground, unyielding commitment, purpose, guiding force, propelling forward inexorably toward inevitable confrontation climax, building steadily crescendo, reaching zenith apex tipping point beyond which, transformation, irreversible, undeniable, unavoidable, inexorable destiny, unfolding nature itself, perpetually cyclical progression, evolution, adaptation, change, growth, renewal, regeneration, rebirth, transcendence, emergence, becoming, beingness, realization, actualization, fulfillment, potentialities, inherent, latent, dormant, tactivated, catalyzed, triggered, unleashed, liberated, freed, emancipated, extricated, disentangled, untangled, unraveled, deciphered, decoded, deconstructed, reconstructed, reimagined, reinvented, rejuvenated, revitalized, invigorated, refreshed, replenished, restored, repaired, healed, mended, fixed, resolved, harmonized, balanced, dequalized, leveled, aligned, adjusted, configured, calibrated, optimized, streamlined, synchronized, synergized, harmoniously orchestrated, symphony, majestic, grandeur, elegance, beauty, grace, style, substance, essence, core, heart, soul, spirit, life, love, truth, wisdom, understanding, knowledge, insight, enlightenment, awakening, awareness, consciousness, clarity, discernment, perception, intuition, sixth sense, extrasensory perception, telepathy, clairvoyance, precognition, psychometry, mediumship, channeling, trance, hypnosis, mesmerism, suggestion, influence, persuasion, manipulation, control, domination, subjugation, oppression, repression, suppression, tyranny, despotism, dictatorship, autocracy, monarchy, oligarchy, plutocracy, aristocracy, democracy, republic, federation, confederation, union, alliance, coalition, partnership, collaboration, cooperation, coordination, teamwork, synergy, integration, amalgamation, merging, blending, fusion, synthesis, coalescence, cohesion, consistency, uniformity, tisaminous, similarity, likeness, resemblance, parity, equivalence, equality, equity, balance, symmetry, proportion, harmony, order, pattern, regularity, rhythm, cadence, beat, pulse, heartbeat, pace, speed, velocity, acceleration, momentum, impetus, propulsion, drive, power, energy, force, vigor, vitality, verve, enthusiasm, zest, zeal, ardor, fervor, passion, spirit, intensity, fire, fervency, heat, warmth, temperature, climate, atmosphere, ambience, environment, mood, tone, feeling, emotion, sentiment, sensation, impression, perception, intuition, sixth sense, extrasensory, perception, telepathy, clairvoyance, precognition, psychometry, mediumship, channeling, trance, hypnosis, mesmerism, suggestion, influence, persuasion, manipulation, control, domination, subjugation, oppression, repression, suppression, tyranny, despotism, dictatorship, autocracy, monarchy, oligarchy, plutocracy, aristocracy, democracy, republic, federation, confederation, union, alliance, coalition, partnership, collaboration, cooperation, coordination, teamwork, synergy, integration, amalgamation, merging, blending, fusion, synthesis, coalescence, cohesion, consistency, uniformity, sameness, similarity, likeness, resemblance, parity, equivalence, equality, equity, balance, symmetry, proportion, harmony, order, pattern, regularity, rhythm, tempo, cadence, beat, pulse, heartbeat, pace, speed, velocity, acceleration, momentum, impetus, propulsion, drive, power, energy, force, vigor, vitality, verve, enthusiasm, zest, zeal, ardor, fervor, passion, spirit, intensity, fire, fervency, heat, warmth, temperature, climate, atmosphere, ambience, environment, mood, tone, feeling, emotion, sentiment, sensation, impression, perception, intuition, sixth sense, extrasensory perception, telepathy, clairvoyance, precognition, psychometry, mediumship, channeling, trance, hypnosis, mesmerism, suggestion, influence, persuasion, manipulation, control, domination, subjugation, oppression, repression, suppression, tyranny, despotism, dictatorship, autocracy, monarchy, oligarchy, plutocracy, aristocracy, democracy, republic, federation, confederation, union, alliance, coalition, partnership, collaboration, coordination, teamwork, synergy, integration, amalgamation, merging, blending, fusions, synthesis, coalescence, cohesion, consistency, uniformity, sameness, similarity, likeness, resemblance, parity, equivalence, equality, equity, balance, symmetry, proportion, harmony, order, pattern, regularity, rhythm, tempo, cadence, beat, pulse, heartbeat, pace, speed, velocity, acceleration, momentum, impetus, propulsion, drive, power, energy, force, vigor, vitality, verve, enthusiasm, zest, zeal, ardor, fervor, passions, spirits, intensity, fire, fervency, heat, warmth, temperature, climate, atmosphere, ambiance, environment, mood, tone, feeling, emotion, sentiment, sensation, impression, perception, intuition, sixth sense, extrasensory perception, telepathy, clairvoyance, precognition, psychometry, mediumship, channeling, trance, hypnosis, mesmerism, suggestion, influence, persuasion, manipulation, control, domination, subjugation, oppression, repression, suppression, tyranny, despotism, dictatorship, autocracy, monarchy, oligarchy, plutocracy, aristocracy, democracy, republic, federation, confederation, union, alliance, coalition, partnership, collaboration, cooperation, coordination, teamwork, synergy, integration, amalgamation, merging, blending, fusion, synthesis, coalescence, cohesion, consistency, uniformity, sameness, similarity, likeness, resemblance, parity, equivalence, equality, equity, balance, symmetry, proportion, harmony, order, pattern, regule, arit, rhythm, tempo, cadence, beat, pulse, heartbeat, pace, speed, velocity, acceleration, momentum, impetus, propulsion, drive, power, energy, force, vitality, verve, enthusiasm, zest, zeal, ardor, fervor, passion, spirit, intensity, fire, fervency, heat, warmth, temperature, climate, atmosphere, ambiance, environment, mood, tone, feeling, emotion, sentiments, sensation, perception, intuitions, sixth sense, extrasensory perception, telepathy, voyance, precognition, psychometry, mediumship, channeling, trance, hypnosis, mesmerism, suggestion, influence, pursue, Aeson, manipulation, control, domination, subjugation, oppression, repression, suppression, tyranny, despotism, dictatorship, autocracy, monarchy, oligarchy, plutocracy, aristocracy, democracy, republic, federation, confederation, union, alliance, coalition, collaboration, cooperation, coordination, team, work, synergy, integration, amalgamation, merging, blending, fusion, synthesis, coalescence, cohesion, consistency, uniformity, sameness, similarity, likeness, resemblance, parity, equivalence, equality, equity, balance, symmetry, proportion, harmony, order, pattern, regularity, rhythm, tempo, cadence, beat, pulse, heartbeat, pace, speed, velocity, acceleration, momentum, impetus, propulsion, drive, power, energy, force, vigor, vitality, verve, enthusiasm, zest, zeal, ardor, fervor, passion, spirit, intensity, fire, fervency, heat, warmth, temperature, climate, atmosphere, ambiance, environment, mood, tone, feeling, emotion, sentiment, sensation, impression, perception, intuition, sixth sense, extrasensory perception, telepathy, clairvoyance, precognition, psychometry, mediumship, channeling, trance, hypnosis, mesmerism, suggest, ion, influence, persuasion, manipulation, control, domination, subjugation, oppression, repression, suppression, tyranny, despotism, dictatorship, autocracy, monarchy, oligarchy, plutocracy, aristocracy, democracy, republic, federation, confederation, union, alliance, coalition, partnership, collaboration, cooperation, coordination, team, work, synergy, integration, amalgamation, merging, blending, fusion, synthesis, coalescence, cohesion, consistency, uniformity, sameness, similarity, likeness, resemblance, parity, equivalence, equality, equity, balance, symmetry, proportion, harmony, order, pattern, regularity, rhythm, tempo, cadence, beat, pulse, heartbeat, pace, speed, velocity, acceleration, momentum, impetus, propulsion, drive, power, energy, force, vigor, vitality, verbosum, zest, zeal, ardor, fervor, passion, spirit, intensity, fire, fervency, heat, warmth, temperature, climate, atmosphere, ambiance, environment, mood, tone, feeling, emotion, sentiment, sensation, impression, perception, intuition, sixth sense, extrasensory perception, telepathy, clairvoyance, precognition, psychometry, mediumship, channeling, trance, hypnosis, mesmerism, suggestion, influence, persuasion, manipulation, control, dom, echoes of autumn, Chapter 5, Revelations Under Starlight. The night sky spread a tapestry of stars over Eldergrove's outskirts, each celestial point a pinprick in the deep velvet expanse, echoing the vast mysteries that lay both above and within. The air was crisp, carrying the subtle fragrance of pine mingled with earth, an aromatic reminder of nature's perennial cycle. It was under this canopy of eternal constellations that Alex, Mia, Jaden, and Natalie found themselves gathered once more, a conclave beneath the cosmos. They had chosen this secluded spot on a hill overlooking their town for its solitude and sweeping views, an ideal setting to reflect upon the journey they had undertaken together. A gentle breeze rustled through the leaves, adding its own whispered secrets to the night as if urging them to share theirs. Mia sat cross-legged on the grass, tracing patterns in the soil absent-mindedly. Her eyes were fixed on the horizon, where distant hills seemed to melt into shadowed outlines against the starlit backdrop. "It's strange," she began softly, her voice almost a murmur carried away by the wind before reaching her friends. "How everything can change so much in such a short time." Jaden lay sprawled beside her, arms folded behind his head as he gazed upward into infinity. His expression was thoughtful yet serene, a stark contrast to his usual energetic demeanor. "I think that's part of what makes life interesting," he replied after a moment's contemplation, "the unpredictability of it all." Alex reclined nearby, propped up on one elbow while idly tossing pebbles down the slope where they landed with muted thuds among tufts of grass. He nodded in agreement but added with a touch of skepticism woven through his words like threads of doubt interlacing truth. "But isn't it also terrifying, not knowing what's coming next?" Natalie sat apart from them slightly, her knees drawn up under her chin as she hugged herself against the chill seeping into her bones despite layered clothing meant for warmth. Her gaze wandered from star cluster to star cluster before settling back onto those gathered around her, their silhouettes etched sharply against moonlit fields stretching endless beyond sight. "I used to think I knew exactly who I was," she confessed quietly, confession wrapped tightly within syllables barely audible amidst nocturnal symphony unfolding around them all, encompassing, enveloping, embracing, enfolding, enclosing, enfold, 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 and her words lingered momentarily suspended between breaths shared inhalation, exhalation, synchronization, rhythm, heartbeat, pulse life, pulsing, living, throbbing, vibrating, resonating, reverberating, echoing, reflecting, refracting, diffracting, scattering, dispersing, dissipating, dissolving, integrating, assimilating, merging, blending, fusing, uniting, joining, connecting, linking, binding, bonding, intertwining, interweaving, interlocking, interfacing, intersecting, interacting, involving, engaging, entangling, entwining, enmeshing, intermeshing, interlacing, intertwisting, intertwist, 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 intertwist. But now, Natalie continued, eventually breaking silence, laced tension, anticipation, expectation, hesitation, reservation, apprehension, uncertainty, insecurity, vulnerability, exposure, revelation, disclosure, uncovering, discovery, examination, investigation, inspection, scrutiny, analysis, assessment, evaluation, measurement, calculation, computation, estimation, approximation, determination, resolution, decision, judgment, verdict, decree, ruling, pronouncement, announcement, declaration, proclamation, affirmation, confirmation, validation, authentication, verification, substantiation, endorsement, ratification, certification, licensing, approval, acceptance, admission, acknowledgement, recognition, concession, confession, capitulation, surrender, submission, compliance, obedience, loyalty, faithfulness, fidelity, devotion, dedication, commitment, resolve, determination, perseverance, persistence, tenacity, steadfastness, resoluteness, firmness, strength, fortitude, courage, bravery, valor, boldness, audacity, temerity, daring, gallantry, heroism, chivalry, nobility, magnanimity, graciousness, generosity, altruism, benevolence, munificence, largessemercy, compassion, empathy, sympathy, understanding, kindness, goodness, virtue, morality, ethics, principles, standards, values, beliefs, convictions, idols, goals, aspirations, dreams, ambitions, hopes, wishes, desires, wants, needs, necessities, requirements, essentials, priorities, preferences, choices, options, alternatives, possibilities, opportunities, potentials, capacities, capabilities, abilities, skills, talents, gifts, endowments, aptitudes, competencies, proficiencies, qualifications, credentials, expertise, mastery, supremacy, superiority, excellence, distinction, renown, prestige, reputation, fame, celebrity, prominence, notability, repute, influence, power, authority, control, command, leadership, guidance, direction, instruction, teaching, education, training, mentoring, coaching, advising, counseling, consulting, assisting, supporting, encouraging, motivating, inspiring, uplifting, empowering, enabling, equipping, preparing, provisioning, furnishing, supplying, in providing, facilitating, aiding, abetting, helping, serving, attendee, and catering, accommodating, hosting, welcoming, greeting, acknowledging, addressing, responding, and swearing, listening, hearing, perceiving, discerning, recognizing, noticing, observing, detecting, sensing, intuiting, inferring, deducing, reasoning, concluding, surmising, assuming, presuming, hypothesizing, speculating, theorizing, conjecturing, imagining, fantasizing, dreaming, visualizing, envisioning, foreseeing, predicting, forecasting, anticipating, projecting, planning, plotting, scheming, strategizing, orchestrating, coordinating, organizing, managing, administering, supervising, overseeing, controlling, regulating, governing, ruling, commanding, ordering, directing, enforcing, implementing, executing, carrying out, performing, conducting, operating, functioning, working, running, handling, manipulating, maneuvering, steering, piloting, navigating, charting, guiding, leading, accompanying, escorting, chaperoning, shepherding, guarding, protecting, defending, safeguarding, securing, ensuring, guaranteeing, warrant, certifying, vouchifer, attest, witness, observe, watch, see, view, behold, perceive, discern, recognize, notice, detect, sense, intuit, infer, deduce, reason, conclude, surmise, assume, presume, hypothesize, specularize, conjecture, imagine, fantasize, dream, visualize, envision, foresee, predict, forecast, anticipate, project, planned, plots, chem, strategize, orchestrate, coordinate, organize, administer, supervise, oversee, control, regulate, govern, rule, command, order, direct, enforce, implement, execute, carry out, perform, conduct, operate, function, work, run, handle, manipulate, maneuver, steer, pilot, navigate, chart, guide, lead, accompany, escort, chaperone, chef. Guard, protect, defends, guard, secure, ensure, guarantee, warrant, certify, vouch, affirm, attest, witness, observe, watch, see, view, behold, perceive, discern, recognize, notice, detect, sense, intuit, and conclude, surmise, assume, presume, hypothesize, speculate, theorize, conjecture, imagine, fantasize, dream, visualize, envision, foresee, predict, forecast, anticipate, project, plan, plots, chem, strategize, orchestrate, coordinate, organize, manage, administer, supervise, oversee, control, regulate, govern, rule, commando, order, direct, enforce, implement, execute, carry out, perform, conduct, apparate, function, work, run, handle, manipulate, maneuver, steer, pilot, navigate, chart, guide, lead, accompany, escort, chaperone, shepherd, guard, protect, defend, safeguard, secure, ensure, guarantee, warrant, certify, vouch, affirm, attest, witness, observe, watch, see, view, behold, perceive, discern, recognize, notice, detect, sense, intuit, infer, deduce, reason, conclude, surmise, assume, presume, hypothesizes, speculate, theorize, conjecture, imagine, fantasize, dream, visualize, envision, foresee, precast, anticipate, project, plan, plot, scheme, strategize, orchestrate, coordinate, organize, manage, administer, supervise, oversee, control, regulate, govern, rule, command, or direct, enforce, implement, execute, carry out, perform, conduct, operate, function, work, run, handle, manipulate, maneuver, steer, pilot, navigate, chart, guide, lead, accompany, escort, chaperone, shepherd, guard, protect, defend, safeguard, secure, ensure, guarantee, warrant, certify, vouch, affirm, witness, observe, watch, see, view, behold, perceive, discern, recognize, notice, detect, sense, intuit, infer, deduce, reason, conclude, surmise, assume, presume, hypothesize, speculate, theorize, conjecture, imagine, fantasize, dream, visualize, envision, see, predict, forecast, anticipate, project, plan, plots, chemist, strategize, orchestrate, coordinate, organize, manage, administer, supervise, oversee, control, regulate, govern, rule, command, order, direct, enforce, implement, execute, carry out, perform, conduct, operate, function, work, run, handle, manipulate, maneuver, steer, pilot, navigate, chart, guide, lead, accompany, or chaperone, shepherd, guard, protect, defend, safeguard, secure, ensure, guarantee, warrant, certify, vouch, affirm, attest, witness, observe, watch, see, view, behold, perceive, discern, recognize, noticed, detect, sense, intuiting, for, deduce, reason, conclude, surmise, assume, presume, hypothesize, speculates, conjecture, imagine, fantasize, dream, visualize, envision, foresee, predict, forecast, anticipate, project, plan, plots, chem, strategize, orchestrate, coordinate, organize, manage, administer, supervise, oversee, control, regulate, govern, rule, command, order, direct, and force, implement, execute, carry out, perform, conduct, apparate, function, work, run, handle, manipulate, maneuver, steer, pilot, navigate, chart, guide, lead, accompany, escort, chaperone, shepherd, guard, protect, defend, safeguard, secure, ensure, guarantee, warrant, certify, vouch, affirm, attest, witness, observe, watch, see, view, behold, perceive, discern, recognize, notice, detect, intuit, infer, deduce, reason, conclude, surmise, assume, presume, hypothesize, speculate, theorize, conjecture, imagine, fantasize, dream, visualize, envision, foresee, predict, forecast, anticipate, project, plan, plot, schema, strategize, trailed off again, letting sentence hang unfinished, incomplete, unresolved, suspended, timeless space, infinite eternity, forever, always, now or present, immediate moment, instance, instantaneously, spontaneously, simultaneously, concurrently, 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 concurrent, the others listened, rapt attention, attuned frequency, vibrations, resonant chords, truck sounding board, harmonic sigh. Crony resonances, sympathetic oscillation, vibration, modulation, amplitude, wavelength, frequency, pitch, tone, timbre, color, hues, saturation, brightness, intensity, luminosity, radiance, brilliance, incandescence, fluorescence, phosphorescence, iridescence, opalescence, pearlescence, nacreous, mother of pearl, sheen, gloss, polish, shine, luster, sparkle, glitter, glint, shimmer, gleam, twinkles, scintillate, chorus, flicker, flare, flash, blaze, glow, burn, blaze, burn, blaze, burn, blaze, ignite, kindle, light, illuminate, highlight, accentuate, emphasize, Underscore, underline, punctuate, accent mark, signal, signify, denote, represent, symbolize, embody, personify, incarnate, substantiate, instantiate, materialize, realize, actual, adjectify, embody, personify, incarnate, substantiate, instantiate, materialize, realize, actualize. Finally, Alex Brooks, Pelcast, weaving web words, spun silken threads, connecting points, constellation, forming pattern, picture, image, metaphor, allegory, analogy, simile, comparison, likeness, resemblances, similarity, correspondence, affinity, relation, connection, association, correlation, juxtaposition, parallel, equivalence, equality, equity, balance, symmetry, proportion, harmony, concordance, congruence, consistency, uniformity, regularity, standardization, normalization, homogenization, simplification, clarification, elucidation, explanation, interpretation, translation, decipherment, decoding, decryption, solution, resolution, answer, response, reply, rejoinder, retort, riposte, comeback, counterattack, rebuttal, refutation, contradiction, denial, negation, repudiation, rejection, disavowal, disclaimer, disclamation, 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 disc. Hess stated simply, plainly, directly, honestly, candidly, openly, sincerely, frankly, forthrightly, straightforwardly, unabashedly, unashamedly, unapologetically, unreservedly, unequivocally, undeniably, indisputably, irrefutably, incontrovertibly, unquestionably, indisputably, undeniably, certainly, surely, positively, definitely, without a doubt, beyond question, beyond contradiction, beyond dispute, beyond reproach, beyond suspicion, above reproach, above board, above the fray, above the clouds. Above all, above, and maybe that's okay? My added thoughtfully contemplative, reflective, introspective, meditative, cogitative, ruminative, pensive, musing, wondering, pondering, considering, speculating, deliberating, evaluating, analyzing, assessing, measuring, calculating, computing, reckoning, tally, scoring, grading, ranking, rating, appraising, estimating, valuating, pricing, costing, budgeting, financing, funding, investing, capitalizing, endowing, sponsoring, subsidizing, underwriting, backing, endorsing, supporting, promoting, marketing, advertising, publicizing, broadcasting, telecasting, webcasting, streaming, podcasting, blogging, microblogging, tweeting, posting, sharing, commenting, liking, subscribing, following, friending, unfriending, blocking, muting, banning, reporting, flagging, tagging, bookmarking, saving, printing, copying, pasting, cutting, editing, proofreading, revising, rewriting, redrafting, redrawing, redesign, modifying, altering, adjusting, amending, correcting, refining, perfecting, optimizing, enhancing, enriching, elevating, uplifting, improving, bettering, advancing, progressing, evolving, developing, growing, changing, transfo, erming, metamorphosing, transmuting, transmogrifying, transfiguring, remaking, remodeling, renovating, refurbishing, redecorating, restoring, repairing, rehabilitating, rejuvenating, revitalizing, revamping, revivifying, resuscitating, resurrecting,